Welcome to Open Source Options. Let me show you today how you can merge satellite images together in QGIS. Free data, free software, super easy to do. Okay, so first, I'm going to work with some Landsat data today. I have a tutorial on how to download Landsat data, so go check that out. There's a link in the description if you're not sure how to do it. In the meantime, let me show you what I have here. I have two Landsat images. They're going to be right next to each other. So I'm going to grab bands 2, 3, and 4 from this image, and bands 2, 3, and 4 from this image. And let's just show you how they line out. So I'm going to pull these 3 bands in, and I'm going to pull these 3 bands in. And you can see that they line up next to each other, and we can definitely see they're different images with different ranges of values, because we can definitely see the contrast between those two images. We want to merge together these two images for this area, and I'm going to show you how to do that. This is actually going to involve 2 different merges because we first need to merge all the bands for a single image together. So we have to do a band merge, and then we have to do what I guess I call an area merge, remove the 2 different image locations together. So let's go ahead and get started with this. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to raster and miscellaneous and build virtual raster. And there are multiple ways to do this. We'll probably go through 2 methods here. Okay, so first, let's go to input layers and let's select, we want to make sure we get these from the same image. So notice we have this one right here, the third section here, 039030. That's kind of our identifier as far as the row path goes. And we want to make sure we get the same ones here. So let's take these first 3. We got band 2, 3, and 4, which in the new image will be band 1, 2, and 3. Click OK here. We want to place each input file into a separate band. We can keep this the same. We'll resample, we'll change to bilinear. I don't think it's going to matter for this. And then we can save this to a temporary file, or we can save it to an actual file. We'll do temporary for here. Let's click run. This is going to complete very quickly. Okay, and so we're going to call this, let's rename this. Oops. Right click, rename. Let's call this IMG1. Slide it up to the top here. Now you can see we have color. The colors are incorrect because we need to just adjust the styling, and we need to go 3, 2, 1, and now we have that in true color. Let's go ahead and do this for image 2. We'll do the exact same thing. Raster, miscellaneous, build virtual raster. We're going to go select our inputs. We'll select these 3 down here. Click OK. Place each input file into a separate band. Change this to bilinear and click run. Now we can close that. We're going to rename this to image 2 just to keep things straight. If I can find rename, there it is. So IMG2. And now let's go adjust the styling here. And let's go bands 3, 2, 1. And now we have true color there also. We can definitely see differences in between these 2 images still. They're still separate images. Now the next step is to take these 2 images and merge them together so they create one image. And we can do that also with the virtual raster tool. So let's go miscellaneous, build virtual raster, and let's select our input. So here we're going to select image 2 and image 1 and select OK. Do not place each input file into a separate bin. We want to merge these with area or with space and not stack them together. Let's do resampling bilinear. We'll save this to a virtual raster in a temporary file again. And let's click run. Once again, this will happen very quickly. And now we can just rename this real quick. Rename layer. We'll call this virtual merge. Now we can come adjust our symbology, 3, 2, 1. And now we have this true color image that is a single image and it's all blended together. We don't see that same contrast. If I turn this off, we can see the line between these two images. If I turn it on, we don't see that line anymore. We've successfully merged those together using a virtual raster in QGIS. Okay, now let me show you another way to do this that you may wish to use. Personally, I prefer the virtual rasters. It's faster, it's a little simpler. I just like to use them. But there's another way we can do this. So let me show you that. Okay, I'm going to turn off all these ones we just created so we can start from the same place. And now we're going to go to raster, miscellaneous, and we'll use this merge tool here. So let's come select our inputs. We're going to do this the exact same way. For our first image, we're going to select all 3 of our inputs and say OK. We're going to place each input file into a separate band. The output data type I'm going to select is uint32, just to make sure we have enough space. These might be actually unsigned ints in 16, but we'll leave it at 32. And now we want to, here we're going to need to set some no data values, okay? So let's go take a look here at what our no data values are. So if we open this guy up and we scroll down to our band information down here, we can see we have one band, the no data value is 0. So we want to make sure we replicate that here. I'm going to put a 0 in here and a 0 in here just to keep those things straight. And we can click run. And this will take a little longer to run. Again, I'm creating this image virtually, so it's, or not virtually, but I'm creating this in memory, so it's not going to stick around once I close QGIS. Let's call this, let's rename this, rename, we'll call this IMG1 merged, and save that there so we know what that is. You can see it's done the color here, so we can go swap up our bands to get this to be correct. And now we have that in true color. And now let's do the same thing with our next image. So we can go to raster, miscellaneous merge, and let's get our inputs for the second image, which will be these 3 here. Just verify those have the 3-1 ending, and they do. We'll say OK, change this to unsigned int32, place each input file into a separate band, and make sure we set the no data values both as 0, and then click run. You'll notice this takes a little longer to run than the virtual because we're actually creating new data and not just combining existing data. So we can close this now, and let's rename this to IMG2 merged, just like that. And we'll come and adjust our, our band values here. And there you can see, again, we have that true color image. We definitely see the differences between the 2 images. The next step now is to merge these, and we can come do that with rasters, miscellaneous merge. And here we'll select IMG1 merged, IMG2 merged, and select OK. Make sure our pixel values here are 0. Make sure we select unsigned int32 here. And now we can click run. And this will again take just a little bit of time to complete running. Hopefully I did this correctly. Yes, we don't want to place each input file into a separate band. We want to keep them, we want to keep these 2 images separate and combine them by area, not based on bands this time. Okay, so it says the task is complete. Let's close that. Here's our merged image. Let's just adjust the color. 3, 2, 1. And now we have that true color image there. And you can see that we don't see, if I turn this off, you can see the line between the 2 images. If I do that here, we don't see that anymore. So there you go. That is how you can take and merge these satellite images into a single mosaic image. Now it's a little complicated, right? Because you have to merge the bands you want and then merge the images. but it can be done and it can happen really quickly. We just did that 2 times in 10 minutes with me explaining this to you, so you can do it very simply. Now, if you want to batch this and make it happen quickly, you should go learn Python. I don't have courses or videos on that yet, but they are coming. So if you want to see stuff on Python and GIS and how you can optimize and automate workflows, you can subscribe to see that stuff when it comes online. As always, thanks for watching. There's more free content and courses that are coming soon at opensourceoptions.com. You can go there and sign up with the email to be notified when those are available.